Hey everybody, welcome back to the Teens Drive West Virginia series. Thank you so much for joining me today as we talk about car care. Let's do a quick recap. We're on the third video, and in the last two, we already covered distracted driving dangers and defensive driving skills. If you haven't already checked those out, I highly recommend you start with those. But if you have, let's go ahead and get into something that is just as important, car care. If you take care of your vehicle, you will not only demonstrate responsibility and maturity, but will also help you out in the long run. You may be able to extend the life of your car and protect yourself from expensive shop visits by catching any problems your vehicle has early and having them fixed promptly. So, what exactly do we mean by car care? It's one of those subjects that has a lot of little branches, and they all make up this one large topic. The easiest piece of which to start out with would simply be to keep your vehicle clean. It's important to have a sense of pride in your vehicle, regardless of the make or model, because at the end of the day, it is your car, and that in itself is something to be thankful for. It's also a bit embarrassing personally to have people inside my car or to drive around when there's a lot of dog hair or dust floating around on the inside or mud on the outside because it's just rained. So I like to set a few weeks aside in the summer when the weather's nice just to wash the dirt that has accumulated from driving off of the body, vacuum out the inside, clean my windows, and scrub the floor mats. Another simple action to keep your car on the road is to do a walk around. Once or twice a month you should do a thorough check for anything out of the ordinary. Inspect your tires and the area around them for any sharp objects. Make sure that all of your lights are still working. Look for any chips or cracks in your windows and windshield. This is all about preventing bigger problems by spotting smaller issues. As a teen driver, when you are first getting behind the wheel, a way to familiarize yourself with the car is to listen to the engine. Avoid loud music when you first set out and get accustomed to what your engine sounds like when running normally. You'll be able to recognize abnormal noises by being aware of your vehicle's hum. Make sure to get your vehicle inspected once a year by a certified mechanic. In West Virginia, your inspection sticker will look like the one on this slide, but the color varies by year. So 2021 just happens to be red, and it'll change next year and the year after that. You'll see a block with a listed month number followed by the year and the West Virginia State Police emblem. This sticker is a direct reminder that your inspection is due, and your tag will expire at the end of the month. According to the state police, your charge will be no more than $14.66 for a complete inspection, and your mechanic will do a complete check of your car's components like lights, horns, brakes, steering wheel, fuel system, safety devices, etc. If for any reason there is an issue or something is inoperable, you'll be offered to have the repairs done while your vehicle is in the shop. If you refuse, you will have a rejection sticker placed on your windshield until repairs are made, which must happen within 5 days or your license may be suspended. The next car care step teens should be able to do is to check their own fluids. It's recommended that you check your oil every month or so or before long trips. Your oil actually burns off, and if it isn't refilled, parts of your engine may be exposed to corrosion. Park your vehicle on a level surface. Pull the dipstick out of the yellow or orange handled tube and wipe off any oil from the end of the dipstick with a paper towel or rag. After wiping off the oil, push the dipstick back through its tube and note the level. You'll see 2 lines or holes. The upper line shows that the oil tank is full. The bottom one is your gauge as to whether you need to add oil or not. As long as your level is between the 2 lines, oil level is fine. If it is at the bottom marker below, you need to add a quart or more. You should check your engine coolant at least twice a year, once before summer and once before winter. Check your coolant reservoir to ensure that the liquid is at the full line labeled on your reservoir. If you do need to add coolant, you will have to mix the coolant equally with water. You can buy pre-diluted coolant, but keep in mind that when you do, you are paying for water and not just coolant, so your choice is conveniency over quantity. Never add coolant to a hot engine or open the caps after you have just driven, so you avoid getting burned or harming your engine block. And lastly, you should check your tire pressure about every month, and especially watch it throughout the winter months. A general rule is that your tire pressure will drop 1 pound per square inch, or PSI, once you fill them, and can decrease 1 to 2 PSI for every 10-degree temperature decrease. Make sure that your tires are cold, or you haven't driven on them within 3 hours prior, because warm tires have been known to provide inaccurate readings. If you aren't sure what your pressure should be, you can locate this information on the manufacturer's label placed on the inside of the driver's side door. You can also find it listed in your vehicle's owner's manual when ready to check. Unscrew the valve cap from one tire. You'll need to press your air pressure gauge onto the valve stem evenly so that you are not able to hear any loud hissing. If you do hear this sound, you'll need to readjust your gauge angle so that the air is not escaping and messing with your reading. If your tire pressure is between the standards set by your manufacturer, you're good to go, and you can simply replace the valve stem cap. Remember to check the 3 remaining tires though. If you do need some air, you'll need to locate an air compressor. If one is not readily available to your home, most gas stations have an air pump and a designated filling station. Add a little at a time until the tire reaches your desired PSI, and check the pressure with your gauge after each inflation. If you do have your own, carefully familiarize yourself with the operating instructions because many compressors are different. If you need to go to a gas station, park close enough to the machine so that the hose will reach all 4 tires. You'll need to place the end of the hose evenly again onto your valve stem and press the lever attached to the hose. If you happen to overinflate your tires, you're always able to let some air out. Most gauges have a tiny circular button along the back side of the gauge, which can be pressed to release air from the tires. It is very important to keep your tires at the recommended PSI, not under, not lower. Overinflating tires will cause faster wear and tear to the center of your tires, as well as increase your risk for a blowout, which can impact the control you have over your vehicle and put you into potentially dangerous situations. On the other hand, driving on underinflated tires may cause your tires to overheat and may also cause a blowout. Low tire pressure negatively impacts your vehicle's gas mileage as well, because the engine must work harder to compensate for the effort low tires cannot provide. Those are all of the car care steps that are basic essentials for teens to know and to become familiarized with throughout their life. And we just finished up talking about tires, tire pressure, blowouts, overinflation, underinflation, and this subject was important to end on because in the next video we're going to talk about how to change a tire. So if you do have a flat, you'll be able to know what to do. Again, thank you all so much for joining me in this video and throughout the rest of my series. I really appreciate it. I hope you're learning, and I'll see you in the next one.